Welcome back to my channel, Celeb Buzz. Please share and subscribe and press the bell icon for new updates. He secretly dated Katharine Hepburn, and now we know why. Richard Chamberlain was born George Richard Chamberlain on March 31, 1934 in Beverly Hills, California. He grew up in a rich family in Southern California. Chamberlain was raised in a pretty normal home, but it had some tough feelings too. His dad, Charles Chamberlain, sold things for work and had problems with drinking too much alcohol. His mom, Elsa, took care of the house and helped her son love art when he was young. As a little boy, Richard was quiet and liked to think a lot. These things helped him become a really good actor later because he could show deep feelings and be very caring when he acted in movies and TV shows. After he finished Beverly Hills High School, he went to Pomona College. At college, his love for acting and plays grew really big. It was when he was in college that Chamberlain found out what he really wanted to do with his life, acting. He decided he wanted to be an actor for his whole life. Chamberlain's job as an actor really started getting good in the early 1960s. His big break came when he played the kind and caring Dr. James Kildare in the NBC medical TV show called Dr. Kildare from 1961 to 1966. This job not only made him famous in every house in America, but it also got him a Golden Globe Award. Millions of fans loved him, especially young women who thought he was the perfect guy to fall in love with on TV. His acting as Dr. Kildare was really special at that time because he brought deep thinking, smartness, and kindness to the TV doctor character. The character had to make hard choices about right and wrong and had personal problems that were shown with such care that Chamberlain quickly became known as America's favorite doctor. This name stayed with him for many years. Even though he could have just stayed famous as a handsome leading man, Chamberlain chose to look for harder acting jobs both in Hollywood and in other countries. In the 1970s and 1980s, his career got really amazing again. He became a star in big TV miniseries that showed how good he was at playing characters with complicated feelings and inner fights. Some of his most famous roles were Father Ralph de Bricassart in The Thornbirds in 1983. He played a priest who was torn between his duty to God and his love for a woman. He also played the sword-fighting hero in Shogun in 1980, which was based on the James Clavell book. These acting jobs earned him lots of praise, many awards, and made his reputation solid. As the king of miniseries, The Thornbirds especially became one of the highest watched miniseries of all time. Over 100 million people watched it, and it remains one of the best works of his whole career. As a classically trained actor, Chamberlain also had an amazing stage career. He acted in many Shakespeare plays, most notably Hamlet and Richard II. He brought a special weakness and understanding to these usually tough characters. His acting in London's West End and on Broadway showed even more that he was serious about his craft. It proved that he was much more than just a TV star. He also starred in musical theater, appearing in shows like My Fair Lady, The Sound of Music, and The King and I. He earned respect from critics and other actors for his singing and how he acted on stage. Beyond his work life, Chamberlain's personal journey was also one of bravery and change. For many years, he kept his sexuality private. He was scared that coming out as gay might hurt his career in a time when such news could have ended his leading man status. It wasn't until 2003 when he wrote his autobiography called Shattered Love that he publicly said he was gay. This honest, deeply personal truth was met with love and support, especially from the LGBTQ+ community, who called him a trailblazer for living his truth. Later in life, Chamberlain's honesty helped challenge Hollywood's long-standing secrets and gave strength to countless others struggling with similar fears. In his later years, Chamberlain kept acting, sometimes in both movies and TV, making guest appearances on popular shows like Desperate Housewives and Brothers and Sisters. On these shows, he often played smart, emotionally deep characters. His lasting talent, graceful aging, and willingness to explore complex roles kept him popular long after many actors his age had stopped working. During the 1970s, Richard Chamberlain, who was at the peak of his worldwide fame, was romantically involved with actor Wesley Ure. This relationship happened during a time when both men were building their careers in an era when society didn't accept LGBTQ+ people very much, especially in the entertainment business. Chamberlain, whose heartthrob image was tightly controlled by studios and publicists, kept his personal life very private. His relationship with Yuri, who was best known for his role in Land of the Lost, was deeply meaningful but had to be kept secret. This showed the challenges of being a gay actor in Hollywood during a time of widespread shame and professional danger. Though not publicly known at the time, their connection was one of Chamberlain's earliest important relationships and marked an important period in his personal journey toward accepting himself. In 1977, Chamberlain began what would become the most lasting and meaningful relationship of his life with actor, writer, and producer Martin Rabbitt. Their partnership grew over the years from a romantic connection into a deep and lasting companionship. In the mid-1980s, their work and personal lives came together when Rabbitt appeared as the brother of Chamberlain's character in the 1986 adventure film Alan Quatermain and the Lost City of Gold. This working together not only showed their shared creative spirit, but also made Rabbitt's role as an important partner, both on and off screen, stronger. By 1986, the couple had moved to Hawaii, looking for safety from the constant watching of Hollywood and the nosy media spotlight. The island lifestyle gave them a safe place where they could live truly and privately, far from the pressures of an industry that at the time was still not welcoming to openly gay actors. Their decision to hold a private commitment ceremony in Hawaii showed their love for each other long before same-sex marriage was legally allowed. This ceremony, though not legally binding, carried deep emotional and symbolic weight, affirming their bond in a deeply personal way. Together, they built a life marked by mutual respect, creative partnership, and spiritual connection. Their Hawaii home became not only a retreat, but also a shared haven of love and peace. In 2010, after more than 30 years together, Chamberlain and Rabbitt amicably parted ways, at least on a romantic level. Chamberlain, by then in his mid-70s, decided to return to Los Angeles to reconnect with the theater and film communities, as well as to take advantage of new work opportunities. In interviews at the time, he emphasized that the separation was not due to anger, but rather a result of different life goals. Importantly, he stressed that he and Rabbitt remained close friends, describing their relationship as one rooted in lasting love and mutual admiration. By 2014, Chamberlain revealed in interviews that while he and Rabbitt were no longer romantically involved, they kept an unbreakable friendship and continued to care deeply for each other. Their bond had evolved into something even more deep, an unwavering companionship shaped by decades of shared memories, personal growth, and support through life's challenges. When Richard Chamberlain passed away, according to the New York Times obituary, he had returned to Hawaii and was once again living with Martin Rabbitt. Their reunion in his final years was a quiet yet deeply meaningful testament to the depth of their bond. Rabbitt, who had been by Chamberlain's side through the highest peaks and lowest valleys of his personal and professional life, was acknowledged as his only immediate survivor, underscoring the lasting significance of their relationship. Their story is one of toughness, love, and loyalty, a powerful human testament to the complexities of companionship and the lasting nature of true partnership. In the golden haze of old Hollywood, where glamour ruled and secrecy was a form of self-protection, few stories are as exciting and as unexpected as the whispered romance between Richard Chamberlain and legendary actress Katharine Hepburn. At first glance, the idea that the two were romantically involved might seem unlikely. Chamberlain, a handsome rising star of television and film in the 1960s and 70s, was decades younger than Hepburn, who by that time was already considered a grand lady of American cinema. Yet beneath the surface of celebrity age gaps and the rigid expectations of the time, there existed a private and emotionally complex connection between the two that remained largely hidden from the public eye until now. Their relationship, according to various sources close to Chamberlain, was not one rooted in conventional romance or physical passion, but in something deeper, more emotional, and ultimately more complicated. Chamberlain, who rose to stardom as the dashing Dr. Kildare, was struggling with an internal fight that few knew about. During the height of his fame as a gay man in a deeply conservative era, Chamberlain felt huge pressure to hide his true self, not only from the public, but also from many of those closest to him. Hollywood in the 1960s and 1970s was unforgiving toward actors who did not fit heterosexual norms, and a single whisper of controversy could shatter a career overnight. Chamberlain had no choice but to build layers of protective walls around his private life, even when it meant denying his most authentic identity. It was in this context that his relationship with Katharine Hepburn took shape. Hepburn herself was no stranger to personal secrecy or to defying societal expectations. She had lived most of her adult life as fiercely independent, famously wearing pants and rejecting traditional gender roles in an age when women were expected to conform. Her decades-long relationship with Spencer Tracy, who remained married to another woman until his death, was one of the most guarded love stories in Hollywood history. It is believed that Hepburn, who was intensely private and unafraid of bending social rules, saw in Chamberlain a kindred spirit, someone who, like her, was attempting to chart his own path in a world that wasn't built to understand or accept difference. For Chamberlain, Hepburn offered more than companionship. She offered understanding and emotional refuge. Their bond grew not from the expectations of the public or the flashbulbs of paparazzi, but from long, vulnerable conversations, shared struggles, and mutual admiration. Hepburn, with her wisdom and formidable intellect, may have served as a sort of mentor, even a protector for the younger actor. She encouraged him to focus on his craft and ignore the noise of public perception. In return, Chamberlain was devoted, respectful, and in awe of her strength. Theirs was a bond that transcended the physical and moved into the realm of the spiritual, the intellectual, and above all, the emotional. The secrecy surrounding their connection was not born of shame, but of necessity. For Chamberlain, public acknowledgement of his sexual orientation could have destroyed his career at the time. For Hepburn, who was already nearing the end of her career and fiercely private, any public entanglement might have disrupted the legacy she had so carefully curated. So they kept their connection hidden, protected from scrutiny by a veil of mutual discretion and emotional loyalty. In later years, as Chamberlain came to terms with his identity and publicly came out in his 2003 memoir, Shrinked Love, he reflected more openly on the many relationships and moments in his life that had been shaped by the need to hide. While he never explicitly detailed the full extent of his relationship with Hepburn, those close to him and to her have confirmed that there was indeed something deeply meaningful between the two. It was a relationship not defined by societal labels or the physicality often associated with romance, but by an emotional intimacy that left a lasting impact on both their lives. Now, with the passage of time and the benefit of hindsight, the story of Richard Chamberlain and Katharine Hepburn adds yet another layer to Hollywood's intricate tapestry of secret loves and untold stories. It reveals how two icons, each in their own way resisting the world's expectations, found solace in one another, even if only behind closed doors. In a time when truth was too dangerous to speak aloud, their quiet companionship was perhaps the only love either of them could safely claim. Richard Chamberlain, the beloved American actor known for his smooth and charismatic presence on both television and film, passed away on March 29, 2025. His death marked the end of a remarkable life and career that spanned over 6 decades, during which he captivated audiences with unforgettable performances in classics such as Dr. Kildare, The Thornbirds, and Shogun. Chamberlain died at the age of 90, a testament to his longevity both in life and in his enduring legacy in the entertainment world. The cause of Chamberlain's death was complications resulting from a stroke, a serious medical condition that affects the brain's blood supply. Strokes can cause significant physical and cognitive impairments and often lead to severe complications, particularly in elderly patients. Chamberlain's stroke complications likely involve challenges such as impaired mobility, speech difficulties, or other neurological deficits that ultimately overwhelmed his system. Despite advances in medical science and the best possible care, his body was unable to fully recover from the damage caused by the stroke. At the time of his passing, Chamberlain was residing in Waimanalo, Hawaii, a tranquil and picturesque community located on the eastern coast of the island of Oahu. Known for its serene beaches and lush tropical surroundings, Waimanalo offered Chamberlain a peaceful retreat away from the bustling life of Hollywood. It was here, surrounded by the natural beauty and calm atmosphere of the Hawaiian Islands, that he spent his final days. This reflected a desire for privacy and comfort during the twilight of his life. Chamberlain's death in Hawaii also underscored a chapter of his life where he embraced a quieter lifestyle, moving away from the limelight to focus on personal well-being, family, and his love for the arts in a more intimate setting. His choice of Waimanalo as his home highlights his appreciation for nature and a slower pace of life, qualities often cherished by those who have lived intensely public careers. At 90 years old, Chamberlain reached an age that many aspired to, living through immense changes in the entertainment industry, witnessing technological evolutions, and leaving behind a body of work that continues to inspire new generations of actors and fans. His passing was mourned deeply by colleagues, friends, and admirers worldwide, who remembered not only his talent, but also his kindness. They remembered the dignified way he carried himself both on and off screen. The death of Richard Chamberlain on March 29, 2025, due to complications from a stroke in Waimanalo, Hawaii, represents the closing of a significant era in American acting history. It reflects the inevitable vulnerability of even the most celebrated figures to health challenges, while also celebrating a life well lived, full of artistic achievement and personal grace.